Okay, today we're going to go over how to winterize your pool. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put it in service mode and turn all the power off to the pumps. Here we have a Pentair Easy Touch control system. So I'm going to press the mode button one time and you can see it goes into service mode, and you can maybe hear the pump turn off behind me. And then I'm going to go down all these breakers and trip them or flip them off. These ones, I'm just going to press the test button to trip them. This one I have to flip off. This one I'm going to flip off, and you can see I've killed the power to the panel. And then I have a little breaker box next to the panel right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and flip these off. And that's for the panel itself, and I'll leave that on. Alright, now I'm going to basically drain all the equipment. I'm going to take all the drain plugs out of them. I'm going to start with the filter. You'll need a pair of channel locks. And this one down at the bottom here, there's a black drain plug. Like I said, some channel locks, get in there. Just the size of mine. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Once you've loosened it with your channel locks, you should just be able to do it by hand. Now I'm going to open up the air release valve on top of the filter. And all that water comes pouring out. I'm going to put my drain plug on top of the panel so I don't lose it. Alright, all the water is drained out of the filter now. So I'm going to move on to the heater over here. All the way back in here, there is, I don't know if the cameraman can see it, back under here. Come on in here, cameraman. There is a plug down at the bottom of the manifold on the heater, and it should just be able to loosen by hand. Just gonna take that out. Oop, dropped it. Just gonna set it on top of the heater so I don't lose it. Make my way over to the filter pump, and same thing. Got some drain valves down at the bottom, or drain plugs. There's one in the front here. I'm going to take it out, and one in the back here comes out as well. And then for every pump I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the lid off and flip it upside down and leave my plugs inside of those so I don't lose them. I might even take my heater plug and put it in the filter pump lid so I don't lose it. Alright, next pump is the spa jet pump, and before I start with it, the spa is above the level of the pump, so when I take the lid off it's going to spill out. So I'm going to have to kind of let it run out and drain to the level of this pump here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to open up this valve. I'm going to take out my drain plugs first because it's going to spill like crazy. Drop that one. I'll find it in a second. Put it off there. I'm gonna set it on top of this one for now while we let it drain. If you don't let all the water out of a pump like this, where you have it above water level or below water level, excuse me, you run the risk of bursting those pipes. If you let the water stay in the pipes, that water will freeze and expand and crack the pipes. Alright, back to the filter pump here. We're going to open up the actuators. Just a reminder that you want all your valves open so the water drains out of them. If it's below ground level, it should be fine, but no guarantees. So some people recommend removing these, but you don't have to. There's a switch on the back of them, and it has 3 positions. There's an up position, and some of them are different. There might be a left or a right instead of an up down, but there's always a middle position of off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the switch all the way down, and you're going to see this actuator rotate, and I'm just going to stop it in the middle. And in order to stop it, I'm just going to take this switch and put it in the middle position right there. And I'm just not going to touch it after that. I'm just going to leave it in the middle position, and it's just going to stay like that. I'm gonna come over here to the suction side one and do the same thing. Just gonna flip this switch and it's gonna start rotating. And like I said, like the previous one, we're just gonna put that switch in the middle position to turn it off. There you go. All right, you can see our jet pump slowing down here, so I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. I'm gonna take out the drain plugs. Take out this back one here, and then pop the lid. Flip it upside down, put my plugs in there. On to the next one here. This is the cleaner pump. I got my drain plugs. Oh, pop my lid. There you go. Now this thing here, this is called a Cyclone filter. Some people may have these on their pools. If you want to drain it, first thing you're going to do is take out this plug on the top. You'll hear the air start going in, and you'll see it come out the pump. Just draining down. You can also, a little quicker route is to open up the waistline there, and you can see all the waters come out of there. I'm gonna go ahead and leave my plug in there. On to my last pump here, the bubbler pump. Same thing. I'm gonna take out my drain plugs, one in the front, one in the back. And then pop my lid, flip it upside down, put my plugs in there. This last piece of equipment we have here is the heat pump. We're just going to take the unions off and drain it out. I need a pair of channel locks for that. Loosen it with my channel locks, and it should just be good with hand. Maybe two hands. There we go, that one's off. Push that thing a little bit. And I'm also, this right here is a bypass valve. Just gonna go ahead and open this up. And we are draining and winterize. All right, as you can see, if you remember the edge pump back there that we had draining, the spa is now drained about to the level of the pool, so the edge pump has kind of stopped draining down. Everything's kind of leveled out. Okay, last little thing we have here is the water supply for the Autofill. Now this thing is called a pressure vacuum breaker, and it's just these two valves right here are the on-off valves for the Autofill water. You can test and just see if it has water coming out of it with these little spigots here. You can open them up with a flathead screwdriver, just a quarter turn, and I'm just going to open it to show you that there's water coming out right now. Okay, and I'll close it. Same thing with here. Again, it's just a loop. Open it up. You see water's coming out of it. Now, this down here, this goes to their outdoor kitchen, so I'm just going to leave it alone. I'll let them deal with that. Although I would say that this pipe probably needs to be insulated just to keep it safe, but it's just not in this case. This here is just a hose bib, and that's just going to be on. I'm just going to close this valve and this valve. And now I'm going to bleed the water out of these lines. So now I'm open, and you can see there's no water coming out, and I'm open, and there's a little bit of water coming back out. That's all you need to do.